How are we doing out there? How has your week been, your month, your year? How are you thriving? How are you being courageous? How are you giving yourself the patience, the grace to evolve and to grow? See, I use that word on purpose. You see what happened there? I'm planting that seed because today we're going to talk about something that is one of my favorite topics to discuss as it pertains to relationships, romantic relationships, how to make them thrive, but more importantly, how to make a hot, sexy, romantic relationship thrive within ourselves. And what we're going to go into is talk about the evolution of ourselves and some of the steps and how it is that in most cases, one of the biggest things that couples miss is the fact, the undeniable fact, the universal truth is that the only thing that we can guarantee for certain is change, evolution. And so let's talk about how we can actually evolve and grow together and what those steps look like to be aware of this. So that way, when things change, because they will change, you can be aware of it. You can see it coming. You can get excited for it. You can move through the fear and anxiety of change, of why is something not like you knew it to be before. Again, and I'm not talking only with your partner. I'm talking about with you. There's things about you that are going to change, and we're going to discuss these all right now here today. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. So let's go start with first what happens in the beginning. In the beginning, just like they said, in the beginning, let there be light. There was a big bang in the connection. When you see someone, when you experience someone who's now your partner, there was a spark, there was a connection, there was something that you liked about that person in that moment of time. It could have been their confidence, it could have been their energy, it could have been their clothes, their smile, whatever it is, there's something that captivated you, that drew you into that person to say, you know what? I want to spend a good amount of my time with you. Some of you may not be at that point yet where you say, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but at least you have decided that this person, whatever you saw, experienced, felt with them at that snapshot, you decided that yes, you are worth my time, right? But what happens? Over time, that person evolves and changes. That thing that used to light you up, that thing that used to turn you on, that thing that used to captivate you, that used to intrigue you, may no longer be there the exact same way. So, does that mean that that person no longer is worthy of your attention, your love? They can no longer be your muse? Do you need that person to stay within that box so you can love them and feel good with them? I don't know, but I feel like that's what a lot of us do, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. And most of the time, it's going to happen unconsciously. All right. Now, whatever happens, this is why I stress the importance of building a solid foundation. So if you are new to a relationship or if you are single, you are in an ideal spot to make sure your foundation is strong and solid. For those of us who have been in the game for some time, reconstructing a foundation is not impossible, but it can be challenging and it can be almost an impossible challenge to ask for. Why? Because we built so much on this foundation, this snapshot, this image of someone, or maybe how we've held ourselves. There may be a way in which that you saw yourself from the very beginning that has now changed. And yet now you struggle to allow yourself to evolve because you built an identity on this. This person fell in love with you for this snapshot that they saw in you as well, right? So coming back to a foundation together, understand this. Anytime that you recognize that there's a shift, and there will be a shift, your willingness, your ability to step in there and to explore, to ask questions, to be curious, to understand the beauty, necessity that there is to evolve and change, this is what's going to help you to establish a solid foundation and or rebuild it so you can build more on top of it. But don't forget, this is also coming back to you as well. Where's your foundation? Are your emotions solid? Are you clear on what your values are? Are you clear on what your dreams are? Are you clear with what your boundaries are? Are you clear with who you are as a person? Are you still seeking your partner to validate your emotions, to validate who you are? Or is your foundation based in your truth in knowing who you are without needing anyone, including your partner, to validate that? Now, Once you have a good enough foundation, what's going to make it very easy this next phase is to embrace the change, okay? Now, the reason why we want to have a solid foundation of who you two be in unionship together, or more importantly, who you be in unionship with yourself, you can then start to embrace this change, because this is where the change you're going to put on top of that foundation. Now, if your foundation is wobbly, if it's fractured, if it's brittle, if it's unstable, it's hard to bring in this change and understand it. So this is why. Get the foundation going and then embrace the change. What can change look like? Change can look like, well, you know what? The thing that used to excite me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 20 years ago doesn't excite me anymore. I've evolved, I've changed. My viewpoints, my perspective on life, my viewpoints on politics, my viewpoints on the world, how I am as a parent, how I am as a lover, what I find to be sexy, attractive in myself, in my partner, in the world, all that has changed. And again, although this is a universal truth, this isn't even my truth. I adopt this truth. I bring it in as my truth. This is a universal truth that everything will change in some kind of way. It's your response to change. It's how you hold that change. It's what you're not willing to let go from that change. But embracing this change, firstly within yourself, your body, your physical body. Maybe it's not as tight as it used to be. Maybe it's not as strong as it used to be. Maybe it's not whatever as it used to be. Maybe in your spiritual body, maybe there's a way in which you move and interact with nature, your partner, yourself, dance, movement, creativity that's different. Maybe you have kids and just that change in your life as they evolve. You know, it's different to be a father to a newborn than to a 10-year-old, than to a preteen, than to a young adult. So all these changes will affect you. But sometimes what happens is we get caught up on what it used to be. Things were good, or things were great back in the day, right? I loved it when they just did this. I loved it when they were a baby and they were just in my arms. They didn't cry. They didn't talk back to me. They didn't just ask me for money. I can love them. I loved it back in the day when we were single. We didn't have kids. We can travel over the world. I loved it when our sex life was on fire and we were just getting busy anywhere, everywhere. Anyway, anytime we can get our hands on each other, we were doing that. I loved it when I was really at the top of my game in the office. I remember, I love it when I didn't have as much responsibility. I love my business. I love being an entrepreneur, but gosh, there's so much responsibility. I feel like I'm always stressed. Whatever the change has happened for you, not to you, some of you are holding it as a to you, whatever change has happened for you, are you willing to embrace that? First with yourself and then in your partner. Now, everything that I just said right now applies to your partner. They are having a unique experience. You are looking at your partner through your lens, through your world, as if they see themselves through your lens. They don't, okay? You are seeing them as part of your outsider world that's different than what's happening inside of you. Likewise, they are doing it to you. There's no good or bad or right and wrong in that. That's just a fact. So if you are able to observe your partner from the outside and see how they are changing, you will see their changes differently than they experience it internally. Likewise for you, when they look at you, they will see how you change. Your tone, your energy, your mood, your excitement, your everything is different than you're experiencing that. And again, it's neither good or bad or right or wrong. It's, are you willing to have these conversations? Are you willing to have play with this? Are you willing to have fun with this and say, hey, let's have our date night once a week, once a month, once a quarter. Let's talk about the things that we see in each other. Let's talk about our changes. Let's just explore these. Let me just share some things that I see from you from the outside. Because sometimes we change so subtly on the inside, we don't even notice it. But from the outside, our partner can see it clear as day. Now, this doesn't have to mean an attack. This doesn't have to be rife with judgment and criticism. Just a recognition of what is. Again, embracing the change. So let me tell you something that's very magical that's going to happen when you embrace this change, all right? I just gave myself goosebumps right now. God bumps. You can't see this, but I just gave myself God bumps right now. Because embracing the change with your partner, what does it mean to embrace change? Let me just pull out a little bit more of this. Let me elaborate on this. Embracing change within yourself means acceptance of yourself. Acceptance of yourself brings inner peace. Acceptance of yourself brings confidence. Acceptance of yourself brings power and authenticity. Embracing the change within your partner does the same. Embracing your partner's change seeing the gifts in her change, allows you to see her magic, allows you to see her power, allows you to see her beauty as it evolves and changes. It's a different kind of beauty than it was 10, 20 years ago, right? Seeing how she evolves in her wisdom, right? She may not be the same woman who was kind of so easy-go-lucky and carefree, but there's some wisdom now that can be very sexy in that change. So when you embrace the change in your partner, that also ushers in confidence, that ushers in connection, deeper connection, because that's going to allow the two of you to feel safe with each other. You know, you feel that when someone doesn't totally embrace you for whatever reason, when someone pushes you away, when someone rejects you, when someone's criticizing you, judging you, you feel that. You don't feel closer to that person, you feel further apart. So you may be doing this on a very unconscious level to your partner, which is why we have to really understand that change is going to happen. It just depends on how you're going to embrace it and how you're going to let this embracing of the change bring that bond even come closer and closer and stronger and stronger. So you think you've done the work already. You think you're done. You think because you have 5, 10, 15, 20 years under your belt of marriage, of unionship that you are done. Let me tell you, let me just drop a bomb on you. Let me just allow the magic to flow through. There is so much more magic you don't even know about right now, because you're still stuck thinking you've done the work 20 years ago. You have a whole different person standing in front of you. You looking in the mirror and you looking at your partner. Embracing that change brings in a tighter, deeper bond, if that's what you really want. Let's even turn the heat up even more. Let's just be honest. Let's just drop into this. Let me give you an opportunity to think, to feel into what is a stronger bond with someone. But forget someone, forget just anyone. I'm talking about your partner, your life partner, your soulmate. If you've done the soul work, this is your soulmate. When you think of a deeper, tighter bond with your partner, what else does that usher in? It's okay. This is not a kid's channel. You can go there. If you're not going to go there, I'll go there. This is going to usher in deeper intimacy and sex. Yes, you may have thought that you've done all this stuff, all the freaky, nasty stuff. You've been, an exhibitionist. You've been there. You've done that. You had the toys. You did all the things. But again, as I said, you two are always evolving. You don't know this person before you. This person who stands before you right now, you don't know them like you did 15, 20 years ago. You don't know what energy is there. You don't know what creativity is there with them or yourself. So the ability to usher in change and allow everything to feel revitalized, rejuvenated, refreshing, just like the ocean coming in, taking in all the stagnant sand and pulling it back out, and that clean, fresh water coming into the shores. It's the same thing with the energy in your unionship. So being able to allow that bond to come in and deepen, allow that trust to deepen, allow that security to deepen, you usher in all kinds of deeper ways to connect intimately. Now, I'm going to pull these two things apart. Intimacy and sex, because sex can be intimate moment, but an intimate moment doesn't always have to be sexual, okay? Now, the intimacy is to what degree are you sharing yourself to your partner, your thoughts, your dreams, your insecurities. Your insecurities of today probably weren't the same of tomorrow as they were as tomorrow. And that's okay. Again, neither good or bad, things change. Your dreams, your vision, where you want to put your energy professionally in your purpose, that may change. And being able to share that is an intimate moment. Being able to sit down and gaze into your partner's eyes, to the windows of their soul, and see what's behind that is a very intimate moment, because sometimes, even still with your partner, it's very uncomfortable to make eye contact longer than 5, 10, 15 seconds. But the ability to sit and breathe and exchange energy, feel the vibrations between your partner, is a very intimate moment. And that leads into what can be a very sexual encounter. How the depths in which you move, your bodies move together, your bodies combine together, your bodies connect together, how it is you find different points, because again, that spot that used to be her spot 5 years ago may not be her spot now 10 years later. That thing used to drive him crazy, have his eyes roll back in his head and have his toes curl up, may not be the thing anymore. Are you willing to be courageous and be an adventurer and explore and see what else is there? Are you willing to open up the box? Maybe there's something you were embarrassed or afraid to try 5 years ago, but now 10 years later, you say, you know what? We're still in the game. This person is there for me. We can now explore what else is here. So all this happens when being able to embrace change. You have the foundation, you embrace the change, you see it within each other, you create a bond, and you open this up. So family, understand this, evolution is always going to be here. However you hold it, if you want to hold it as evolution, if you want to hold it as change, it's always happening. So it comes down to your ability and how you decide to move through change. Do you see it as a scary thing, as this thing you're trying to hold on to? And as you're holding on to this thing of the past, you're not allowing the new growth to come in? Are you not allowing things to die away so you can clear the path for new, fresh, green trees and gardens and flowers? That is your love. That is your union between each other. You decide that. But I can tell you, it's not your partner's fault if you don't embrace change. It's not your partner's fault if they are different. Are you willing to grow together? Are you willing to be able to be brave with each other? Are you willing to show the new parts of yourself? Open up your chest and heart again. Yes, you may have done it before, but not with this version today of them or of yourself. So as always, I encourage you to be in the practice. I encourage you to have a conversation this weekend. Mark it on your calendar. Next weekend, block off an hour, 2 hours, block off several sessions with each other. Make it fun. Make it creative. Embrace it. Be vulnerable. Don't be afraid if you have these clashes. Just because we want to embrace the change doesn't mean it's going to be a fun process. It may be rocky. It may be bumpy. This is why I say, family, you have to be in the practice. You have to be able to move beyond the discomfort of the growth. You have to be able to focus on what is the beautiful outcome that's waiting for me, not focus on what is the bad outcome. I don't want to have this argument. I don't want to be cold again. I'm afraid to lose them. If you focus on all that, you'll never do it. You'll never evolve. You'll never change, or it'll change. You'll just resist it. It'll make it that much harder. So can you allow yourself to envision, to build a vision on something that's based in love and growth and something bigger than you have today? Not because I say it's bigger, because it's your bigger. It's your truth, your connection to the truth. If you want support with this, let me know. This is where I support people, especially when it comes with couples in intentional union. I have a program that's designed specifically for couples to intentionally build their union together. And that takes a process of breaking down old beliefs, letting things go, letting things die away so we can change and evolve together. So you can build a relationship, a union together based on love, authenticity, and truth. Because if you can't be yourself in any place, especially in your home, in your sanctuary, with your partner, who can you be truthful with? Who can be yourself with? And a lot of us, unfortunately, we have not learned how to be authentically ourselves, especially with the people we share all kinds of life with. So if you like support with that, please let me know on an individual basis when it comes to helping men really tap into your love, your strong, potent, magnetic, even scary, the way you love as a masculine man. I help men connect with that as well, because we need more men in power. We need more men in their confidence. We need more men to not be afraid to open their heart up and share who they are. And for the women out there, awaken the goddess. I designed this program specifically for the women out there who may struggle with having a bit more masculine energy in their body, in their energy field. It doesn't allow them to be completely feminine. The woman who maybe not feel totally connected to her voice. The woman who may not feel fully connected to exert her energy, her goddess energy in her relationship. You need to learn to cut your man's head off energetically and emotionally. I do not mean physically. Do not take this and run with this. I'm not talking about physically, okay? Emotionally and energetically, your man, the God in your life, needs a goddess to step in with your full feminine power. Your power isn't less than, it's just different, and it's powerful, it's potent. And so if you feel that you struggle to access that power specifically because you feel like maybe you've become a bit too rigid or hard and not masculine like a man, but have a lot more masculine energy than in a woman's body, talk to me about Awaken the Goddess. But as always, fan, any questions you have, please leave your comments. Please like this. Please share this, review this, save this, come back this, be in the practice of coming back and doing the work. Don't watch this once and just put it away. Come back, watch it several times, get the nuggets, get the information, and make sure you are ready to grow into love. Okay? Till next time, we'll see you all later. Peace, love,